In Parshat Tissa, after the sin of the golden calf, Moses managed to arrange a forgiveness, arrange for God to forgive the Jewish people. And once he had the audience, which he had a lot, but in this instance he said, I'm going to go ahead and ask for everything. So what did he ask for? He said, God, show me your way. And after that he said to God, please show me your glory. Hareina et kodecha. So God said, I'll put you in the cliff, in the rock. There's a place by me, and you'll come up to the rock. And it will come to pass when my glory passes by, I will put you in the cleft of the rock, and I will cover you with my hand while I pass by. Va'asiroti et kapi, and I will remove my hands. Va'ra'it et acharai, and you'll see my back. Ufanai lo yerao, and my front, my face you shall not see. So the Mordechai Yosef of Isbitz, the Hashiloach, teaches us, asks us the question, and the question is, what is the back of God? So the answer is in the Gemara. The Gemara says that this is the knot of the tefillin. The head tefillin is tied with a leather strap around the head, and then the back of the head, at the base of the skull, there's a knot in the shape of a dalet, or two dalets, a Hebrew letter. God, so to speak, wears tefillin. Now, the question we have to ask is, what does it mean for God to wear tefillin? God has no form, he has no body. However, the Torah speaks in the language of men. The Torah can only speak in a way that men can understand. So the Torah has to use anthropomorphisms in order for us to have a chance of understanding anything beyond this world. So the Medrash, the legend of the Jews, talks about the tefillin of God. And tefillin, the Mordechai Yosef of Isbitz teaches that tefillin is a connection. It's an intense connection of dvekus. Like it says when the Neftule Elukim, when Leah gave birth to Naphtali, in the book of Genesis, chapter 30, verse 8, she said, actually it's Bilhah, Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again and bore Yaakov a second son, and Rachel said, with great wrestlings I have wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. Great wrestlings in Hebrew is Niftule Elohim. Naftule Elohim, Niftalti. Naftule Elohim Niftalti. With great wrestlings I have wrestled my sister. What does this have to do with tefillin? Naftule is the same letters as tefillin. When you wrestle with somebody, you have to be very connected. And Israel, the people of Israel, it means those who wrestle with God, those who struggle with bringing the spiritual into the physical, who struggle with morality, who bring morality into the world by bringing godliness into the physical world. That is to say that we're connected to God. No matter what happens to us, we'll never separate from God. And the tefillin of the Master of the world, the tefillin is a leather box with something written inside of it on parchment in the holy Hebrew letters. God's tefillin, with our tefillin, it has the Shema Yisrael, Hear O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, is written inside of the tefillin. But with God's tefillin, He has something written inside of His tefillin too. Who is a great nation like Israel that has God so close to him? Now, again, these cannot be taken literally because God has no form and no body, and the body cannot perceive God. The physical senses don't perceive God. But it has a deep meaning to it, if you can give the moral to the story, so to speak, the meaning of the allegory. And that is to say, so the Hashiloach continues that God praises Himself about His people Israel, that they're connected to Him so closely. And God is also connected to them. That's the thing about tefillin. You tie it to yourself. It represents connection, being tied to closely connected to something. And even if Israel sins, God is still close to us. God still loves us. It's like a father and a son. The son might make some big mistakes, but the father still loves the son. So it says, God said that my back you shall see, but my front you shall not see. What does it mean, my front you shall not see? That he showed Moshe everything that would ever happen to the Jewish people in detail for every individual and as a nation. He saw that no matter what happens, it's always going to build something. Everything, good and bad, God forbid, build something. And Moses saw everything that would be built out of the actions of the past. Oh, I'm sorry, I mistranslated it. Moses saw everything that already happened in the past and what happened in the what concatenated out of it, the results of everything that ever happened, which is hard enough to do even for a historian or somebody of normal intelligence. But imagine knowing exactly in detail every little thing that happened and the results that happened from it. It's beyond the human potential. That's for Moshe, Ish Elohim, he could have done it. So that's what God showed Moshe. Moses had a superior ability. He was the greatest of all prophets. I hope we did. We know he did. And my face you shall not see means the present. Moses did not see what happens in the present. God didn't show him what's really going on right now over the whole world. That's because all of the acceptance of punishment was said through Moshe. We were punished by the law from the lawgiver, the law of Moses. And it couldn't show him from the present how God is actually... Moses could not have understood, if there's punishment for action, how God could be at one with man in the present and complete with man and loving man, even because he saw the punishments. He could not see beyond the punishment. And that's, as it says in the Medrash, Dvarim shelo ne'emru Moshe ne'emru Rabbi Akiva. Things that were not said to Moses were actually said to Rabbi Akiva. That it says in the Gemara that Rabbi Akiva saw God's glory. Kol yakar rata enai. Rabbi Akiva said, all of his glory I saw with my eyes. That is to say, that he saw the tefillin. He saw the front of the tefillin. Moses saw the back of the tefillin, but Rabbi Akiva saw the front of the tefillin. Meaning, what does that mean? It means he saw what's going on in the present, right now. He saw how, no matter what's happening right now and how difficult it seems, God always loves us. He showed him how it's not a paradox. If you look at it and see it, you'd think it's a total paradox. How can God love us when there's a Holocaust? But he'll show, in the time to come, we'll see how everything fits together, and everything is according to justice. And God's heart is always one and complete with Israel. That's like it is mentioned in the Gemara. Rabbi Akiva said, if I had been the head of the Sanhedrin, no one would have ever been put to death. Why? Because he saw how God is always at one and at peace with Israel. Shabbat Shalom.